Good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 16. We are at 16 now of Comic Relief, the live weekly talk show for all things comics to live adaptations and anything else that makes you want to get nerdy with it. We are now here on The Box, the new live podcast network bringing you the latest and greatest in comic, horror, anime, and music news. We are your hosts. I'm Xander.
And I'm Jagger, and tonight is our Loki episode 3 recap before we dive into episode 4 tomorrow. But first, the nerd news.
The nerd news.
Yeah, some good stuff this week. Some surprising ones, too. David Harbour, who played Hopper in Stranger Things, the latest Hellboy, and Red Guardian in the upcoming Black Widow film, stated in a recent interview that Stranger Things Season 4 will direct the series to a definite ending at some point. So we can expect some big changes to some characters. Maybe some characters die off, leave the show.
I like that it's worded definite ending at some point. So obviously, you know, everyone knows shows have to come to an end at some point. But the fact that he says it like this, it's like I feel like we're gonna start to see some of the wheels turning on. Like, okay, what's the end game going to be? We're gonna kind of get a glimpse of what the end game might be.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of been getting glimpses of that with the whole Mind Flayer storyline. I don't know if they're going to keep rehashing that or not, or if there's going to be some more like look into like Hawkins Laboratories and Hawkins International that they kind of teased at the end of season 3. But we'll see. Season 4 is supposed to be coming out this end of this year, early next year.
Yeah. I was actually going to ask you about that. Do you want to cover that on here, or do you want to cover that on Cursed Tapes? Because it's kind of technically sort of considered horror.
It is considered horror because it is included in Dead by Daylight, and they do count it as a horror show. I'm not sure. I think it really depends on when it comes out. I think we could probably cover it on both. I think this season, because the whole season will drop at once. So I think maybe we could do a season recap episode here.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. So look forward to that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tom Hiddleston mentions in a recent interview that episodes 4 and 5 of Loki will expand into new territory, and the whole series takes off in a direction that even he didn't see coming. So that makes me excited.
Yeah. I mean, considering, and we'll definitely get into this during our recap of episode 3, but considering where it's at now, like,
yeah,
I don't even know. I mean, we've had our theories in the past, but like for him to say something like that where it goes in a direction he definitely didn't see coming, I'm like,
yeah,
the fuck does that mean? What does it mean? What does it all mean?
The nerd wheels just started spinning as soon as I saw that. I was just like, oh gosh, they could be doing a whole lot of different things.
In more Disney MCU news, the WandaVision post-credits scene was found to be altered recently by adding a quote-unquote strange, wink wink nudge nudge, object floating down the mountain towards the cabin, as well as adding credit to the composer of Doctor Strange, as well as a couple of other things. Like they added more trees, they took away the ducks playing in the pond.
So they had actually really clarified what happened there. It's a technical editing glitch, because what they did was because if you watch it, the way the camera pans, it makes it look like the spot is moving, but it's actually not. It's just it's like a placeholder, because the producer said this is a scene that was shot for dual purposes, similar to like they did with the end credit scene of Captain America and the Winter Soldier for Civil War. So they didn't say what it was for, but I mean, obviously it's for Doctor Strange too. So I'm thinking this is going to be one of those things where it's like, here's your prequel scene that leads from WandaVision to Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. And maybe that is supposed to be Doctor Strange as a placeholder, or it could be another character. We don't actually know. There's also rumors going around that they're just kind of changing things to see who notices because of the whole Sacred Timeline explosion that happened. There was rumors that they were going to start like adding different things, like change small scenes in Falcon and the Winter Soldier and WandaVision and things like that to see if people notice. There's rumors, but I don't
imagine if they actually did that.
Yeah, imagine if they did that. Like you go to watch it now, and it's like, oh, that's different. That's not the way it was.
It's like, wait a minute, that didn't happen.
That
Wanda's car is not blue.
Right.
That's interesting. That's actually really interesting, though.
Yeah.
That is even on people's minds. Up next, we have Ron Perlman cast as Optimus Primal in the new Beast Wars film. I know it's Transformers Rise of the Beasts, but I'm calling it the Beast Wars film.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah, which that excites me. That actually really excites me. I like his voice.
I'm a little half and half on it because having Ron Perlman cast as Optimus Primal, it takes away the idea that Optimus Prime took the form of Optimus Primal. Because that's how it was in the Beast Wars show. Optimus Primal wasn't a separate thing, so you couldn't have Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal in the same like scene because they were two different or they were the same entity. That leads me to believe that in this movie they're going to be separate entities, and I feel like they're going to squander the opportunity similar to how they did the Dinobots.
Oh God, don't say that.
Yeah, I'm worried. It worries me because I don't know. I mean,
Ron Perlman does have that voice. He could potentially mimic the previous voice actor.
He could, but I don't want him to. I want him to be Ron Perlman as Optimus Primal. And I think if they do it right, like, okay, I know that this is a ploy in a way to bring Megatron back. So we're going to get T-Rex Megatron, which is super cool. I had that toy too. But I know it's a ploy to get him back because he's a main focal point of the series and a lot of people like him. But I don't know if they'll still have the original Optimus Prime with Optimus Primal or not. And depending on how they handle that, will kind of sway my view. Also, as with every other Transformers film, it really depends on what human elements they add into it. Like, what human actors are they gonna have in it? Is it gonna still be Marky Mark, or are they gonna do like?
Quite honestly, given the fact that I grew up on the Beast Wars films, I really wish they didn't have any human element whatsoever. Let the Transformers be that human element, like explore them a little bit more. But then
I'd
again,
like that too.
Like they have already established the fact that they're here on Earth. I mean, maybe like what if Rise of the Beast is like, maybe it's another prequel film where they came to Earth during the prehistoric era, and there are no humans. I mean, it wouldn't really make sense for Cheetor, but
no.
But then again, it didn't make sense in the original either, because you did have a T-Rex, Megatron, and then Cheetor.
Yeah.
So
most of Beast Wars didn't actually make sense.
No, not at all.
Like looking back and rewatching it, like it doesn't make any sense at all. But it was still super hype.
Yeah.
And it had some of the best toys.
Imagine if Silverwing was in there. Bro, I remember I had the VHS where they turned from like the regular beasts to like the metal infused or whatever, like the cybernetic ones.
Yeah.
The one where they brought back Silverwing and they had like Scorponok and stuff like that.
Yep. I mean, we've already had Scorponok.
Yeah.
He was in the original Transformers film.
But man, I want to go back and watch that shit.
Yeah. Anyway, let's not get stuck on Transformers for too long. We could do a whole fan casting thing for that.
Yeah.
Hashtag Make the Batfleck movie is starting to trend on Twitter. It's the whole Restore the Snyderverse movement is starting to move on from just the Snyderverse to like specific films. Yeah. And it's already got a couple celebrities backing it. Like Ben Affleck obviously backs it. Matt Reeves even backs it, and he's making his own Batman film.
Right. That's kind of wild.
It's yeah. The Supernatural prequel series is in development from Jensen Ackles and his wife Danielle Harris. Danielle Ackles. And apparently that caused some drama between him and Jared Padalecki.
Really?
Yeah, when Padalecki found out, and he found out that Ackles didn't tell him, he punched him.
No way.
Like Jared punched out Jensen, and Jared ended up getting arrested for assault over the whole deal because he didn't tell him it was happening. He didn't involve him at all.
So Jared Padalecki got arrested for this.
Yes.
No way.
Yeah. Because apparently only Dean Winchester's being involved in it as like a narrator of sorts, and Sam's not involved in it at all.
I mean, I can kind of understand his
Anger?
His anger towards that, because I mean you have to think how long Jared and Jensen had been doing Supernatural.
Yeah, it may not have been his decision though. That's the thing. It may. I mean, we've all seen like the dark side of the CW. Like,
Yeah.
you know, the executives there are very controlling. They're very like hush hush about certain things.
Isn't it a subsidiary of Warner Brothers too?
I think so.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it makes sense, absolutely.
But at the same time, I'm like, I feel like Jensen would at least be like, listen, bro, I know I'm not supposed to tell you this, but this is what's happening. Like, after all those years.
I mean,
like,
maybe, but I mean, you've also got to think all this is starting to come out while he's in the middle of filming for The Boys, and
right.
at the point, like last time they did an interview with him, which was a couple weeks ago, he did an interview on Misha Collins' podcast. And he said that he hasn't seen his kids in almost a year because of quarantine and filming and all that stuff. Because he started filming and then they got quarantined and the borders got closed. So he hasn't been home to like even see his family because filming hasn't wrapped yet.
Damn.
So I can only imagine what he's going through right now. And like having that slip your mind, that's like the least of your concern. Telling somebody that they're doing a show based off of another show that y'all did together that you're not involved in. Like, why is that important at that point? So
yeah, I guess I can see both sides now.
Yeah. Damn. Let's see. So a Smallville animated series is in development with the original cast members returning. Tom Welling as Superman. That's interesting.
Yeah, I actually remember seeing.
I
saw Tom Welling post a video, like a brief video talking about it. He's like, yeah, we're trying to get in touch with all the old cast members, see if we can get everyone on board with this. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Oh, that is cool. That'd be a nice little reunion. I mean, the last kind of reunion they did for it was with Crisis on Infinite Earths with the Arrowverse, where Tom Welling reprised his role as Superman for like part of an episode.
Was he actually Superman? I never got around to watching it. But was he actually
Superman?
Yeah,
he was.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Like, did you actually get to see him in the suit though?
I think it was like a mock-up type suit.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it was like the actual like blue and gold suit. I don't remember. And I never watched the final season. I got too mad when I found out they were like dragging it out, and then decided to cancel it up like out of nowhere.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So a new Loki image posted by Marvel Studios gave us a better look at the Timekeepers, and it's supposedly in order to debunk the Kang theories. The Timekeepers end up looking more like the space lizards, like Loki refers to them as in episode 1.
Yeah.
I think Marvel's getting tired of people saying it's like Kang the Conqueror is in this, Kang the Conqueror. I think they're trying to not lead people on, similar to how they did with Mephisto, where it was like, everything's Mephisto. In this one, everything is Kang.
See, I still got my tinfoil hat on. I think this is just a red herring, and they're trying to lead us off of that idea, and actually Kang is involved somehow.
I don't think so. I think the focus
is going to be on I'm sticking to it until I'm proven wrong.
I'm still thinking that the whole focus is going to be the fact that the like the TVA, which we'll get into in the breakdown.
Right. Let's see. Rumors that a Nightwing movie may still be happening. The direct quote from Chris McKay is, maybe it's wishful thinking, but no one has outright said, "Hey, kid, you're not making that movie." So that's pretty interesting. This is actually the first I've actually legitimately heard about the Nightwing movie, which is weird considering Nightwing's probably one of my favorite out of the Bat family.
Okay, makes sense. You strike me as a Nightwing fan.
I don't know if I should be delighted or offended.
No, okay. Let me explain. Everybody who likes Batman and the Bat family has a certain aura about them. Like, you can tell which member of the Bat family is their favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as an example, judging by personalities, you are very clearly a Nightwing fan. Coop is very clearly a Tim Drake Red Robin fan.
Right.
Me,
that makes sense.
I'm obviously a Jason Todd fan, Red Hood.
Yeah.
Or Batman himself. I mean, everybody loves Batman himself.
Yeah.
Like everybody has that like vibe of like, yeah, you definitely jive with a certain member of the Bat family more than others.
Yeah.
And you give me the Nightwing vibe.
I'm curious as to what Husky's favorite is.
He said before, I want to say it's actually Tim Drake, but I don't remember for sure. He might also really like Batwing.
Batwing's pretty cool too.
Batwing is cool.
Yeah, so moving on from that, the biggest news so far this past week. The biggest news. The news that made me literally jump on Discord and try and get you before you hopped off for bed because I saw you were streaming on Twitch and I was like, hold on, I gotta catch him before he goes to bed.
No, it was the end of the first. It was the first Cursed Tapes episode. I hopped off the Cursed Tapes and I just see all these messages from Xander and all caps. Jagger, check your Discord, check your DMs. Look now, hop in. We need to talk. I'm like. Bro,
so the new Shang-Chi trailer dropped and it was amazing. Oh my god, I did a blind reaction. This is my first time ever doing a blind reaction for anything, by the way. I had no idea what was going to happen going into it. So we get a better look at the 10 rings actually in action. They operate a lot differently than what I would expect them to be, like if they were going comic book accurate. Yeah. But I mean, I've heard a lot of people say this as well, that they kind of did away with the original use of the 10 rings to kind of, move away from the idea of the Infinity Saga, because they do kind of operate very similarly to the Infinity Gauntlet in a way.
Yeah.
So they have them as like just rings around your arm, and when he activates them, they're like, they almost have like this like gravitational pull or whatever. And he even like, it almost like, I want to see this happen. I want to see him use it like a whip, kind of like Whiplash or some shit. Like that would be so sick. But that was
kind of
really
reminds me of like a chainsword, the way he was using it.
Yeah, and then we get another good look at the Mandarin and Shang-Chi in his childhood, and right there, like Shang-Chi's probably like what, maybe 8 years old, and watching his dad just kill a dude right there.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, holy shit. Like, it definitely shows, like, the Mandarin is not, by any means, Dad of the Year.
No, God, no. He's up there with Omni-Man.
Oh, yeah. Right up there. We get a good look at the Great Protector, the dragon in the water.
It's somewhat great look.
It's the best look we've had so far.
Well, yeah. It's only the second trailer.
I'm still wondering what they're gonna do about the Great Protector, because a lot of people are saying the Great Protector is Fin Fang Foom. And if that's the case, I don't think they're gonna be writing Fin Fang Foom as a enemy of sorts.
Maybe not yet. Name. I'm thinking. So my speculation is like, he's labeled as the Great Protector. And then by the end of the series, something happens to where the Great Protector no longer wants to protect anymore.
Right.
Thus entering the persona of Fin Fang Foom as an enemy.
I wonder if they're going to touch on the fact that he's actually an alien.
Maybe.
That'd be interesting. We also get a good look at, so in the first trailer, I remember seeing those scenes where it looked like it was like in the past, and it was like this very vibrant open area, and you saw like these like the mystical lions and stuff like that running around.
Yeah.
I thought that was gonna be like in the past or something like that, but we get another look where Shang-Chi is actually in that, I'm gonna call it like another realm, like a spiritual realm or something of sorts, because we also get a glimpse of him standing outside of this red wall. It almost looks kind of like the same texture of his suit. So I'm assuming there's like this mystical realm that they enter. Maybe
Shadow realm of sorts.
Well, maybe they could make some ties to either Camouflage in Doctor Strange, or even make some ties to Iron Fist. God, I can't remember the name of that. Basically, Marvel's Tibet.
Yeah, I know where you're talking about, but I have a like big mental block around the idea that Iron Fist exists.
Yeah, No, I would really like them to see do Iron Fist justice, because I was actually really excited for that one and super let down.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then the biggest reveal at the very end. Like, I thought
Yeah,
it
we
was
were both-
over. Like, I thought, I was like, oh shit, that's cool. That's cool. And then all of a sudden, we have Abomination fighting against Wong.
Comic accurate Abomination, by the way.
Yeah.
With the fins, the greenish skin, it looks good.
How much do we want to bet they're gonna do? Oh, that wasn't even my final form.
Oh my god, I hope not. Please don't cop out and tease me like that.
Just one day, he was just like, fins. like what was it? I think it was like Fairly Odd Parents when they grow the mustache just by just trying really hard.
Oh yeah, the concentration mustache.
Yep.
Yeah.
Concentration fins. But yeah, no, we have Abomination versus Wong. Like, what the fuck's Wong doing there? Like, I mean, I guess considering
I gotta tie everything in somehow.
Yeah, considering when it's coming out, in conjunction with, we got that's gonna be September, and then we have Spider-Man in December, and then Doctor Strange sometime next year.
In March.
March. Okay.
Yep.
Ooh,
And then
right
Thor
around my
Love and Thunder is May.
Ooh.
My birthday weekend.
Let's go. But yeah.
All right. So
Abomination
shall we get
Wong.
into this episode?
Sorry, I'm still I
know
actually
you're
watched that. I watched that trailer like once a
the
day.
trailer high.
Like just the idea of seeing Abomination again since 2008. Like,
and you know
fuck.
what? And we still don't have a Spider-Man trailer. All right, I'm pulling a J. Jonah Jameson. Marvel, bring me trailers of Spider-Man.
We need trailers of Spider-Man, please. Please, for the love of God.
Please. Something.
But anyway, on to our continuation of Loki, our coverage of Loki. So if you are here today and you have not seen Loki episode 3, here is your spoiler alert. All big and red right in your face. Sounds kind of dirty. I like it. Anyway.
I wasn't thinking about it as dirty until you said that. And now I don't like our spoiler alert anymore.
But yes, that is your spoiler alert. If you have not seen episode 3, turn away now. Or if you don't care for spoilers, go ahead and sit back and relax. We're going to talk about episode 3. So basically, picks up exactly where we left off. And
Loki is following the variant through the time portal.
The variant, yep. And we're brought to the TVA. It looks like she's making her moves, trying to get to the timekeepers.
Yep.
Oh, I completely missed a big detail. Actually, it actually opens up with the interrogation of C20, Hunter C20.
Oh yeah. So it shows the variant, as we know her there, is basically created this false reality inside of C20's mind while she's trying to figure out where the timekeepers are. So it shows how she got the information that she did by turning them into like basically bringing her into a normal reality and making her think that they're like best friends, so she would share information with her, which was really neat.
But also strange. It struck me as strange because, and we'll find out later on in the episode. But it was strange.
Yeah, we'll find out
to
why.
Me. It was strange to me because I feel like this is one of those episodes where we might as well just bounce around. Because, so my understanding of people from the TVA was that they were created by the timekeepers for this purpose.
Yeah.
So why on Earth or in the null time zone would she actually divulge information when put into this weird scenario of them going out for margaritas or something like that?
What struck me as weird when they first started it was she was like, every time she'd almost get herself caught in the loop, she was like, I know this place, but I don't know you. So it's like, how does she have memories of like normal places that she'd been to if all she's known is the TVA? Well, I mean, the reveal that we get later that everyone in the TVA is a variant.
Yep.
It explains that extremely well, but it's so off-putting at the beginning of the episode, and we don't find out that they're all variants until like the very, very end.
Yep.
Of the episode.
Yeah, it wasn't until like probably like the last
5 minutes.
75, like within the last 5-10 minutes of the episode that you find that out, and I'm just like, oh shit. And then that kind of backs up my theory from last week when I went with Mobius and the cup rings and stuff like that, and the other favorite analysts and stuff like that. What if they're different Mobiuses?
Could you imagine just an army of Owen Wilsons coming at you? Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Although apparently he says that he never has a moment where he gets to say wow in this entire series.
Yeah, the showrunner actually came straight out with that. He does not say wow at all.
At all.
And
I don't know if I'm upset or proud.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little conflicted on that as well. But anyway, after the interrogation, we're met with that, and then we go on to the TVA where Loki is chasing down the variant. And there's a funny little moment where the variant actually gets the upper hand on Loki, and Renslayer is right there, and she's like, "You take one more step forward, and I'll kill him right now." And she was like, "All right, fine." And she's
okay. She's like, "Do it. I don't care."
Yeah, because clearly the variant isn't aware of the fact that the TVA is not happy about the fact that they're working with another variant of Loki.
Yeah.
And so
the variant thinks that Loki is like an agent of the TVA at this point, but like he's like an important asset, and Renslayer's just like, I don't care, we can just find another one, fuck it. Like,
not even that, she doesn't even want to deal with this anyway.
Exactly.
She just wants to reset them and just go on their merry way. So in this whole hubbub, Loki ends up grabbing the temp pad and transports them the F out of there. Not really knowing where they're gonna go, but they go. They end up on a moon known as Lamentis 1.
So funny thing about that whole deal was like when they get transported to Lamentis 1, she says you could have picked any other stored location and you picked this one. So it's like she has a ton of apocalypse level events stored on a temp pad. So Jason just has to open it up, pick one, and go, which I think is really cool. It's almost like a saved location on Google Maps, but for the multiverse.
So Lamentis 1 is a moon that is verging on impending doom as there's a planet onward towards them.
The planet's actually called Lamentis. It's all the moons are just numbers after Lamentis.
Yeah. So Lamentis is on its way to Lamentis 1, and they have to get the hell out of there. So it's basically this whole, it's almost kind of like a buddy cop moment in a way,
which is fun.
And I think the biggest like laugh out loud moment with that was as they're running from the first shed that they were in or whatever to the other one, and they're trying to avoid the asteroids falling or the debris falling from Lamentis. She screams out like, "You didn't have to help me," and he's just like, "You're so weird." I don't know why. It's just like the whole dynamic of that moment, like his like knee-jerk reaction was just to say, "You're so weird."
You didn't have to help me. You're so weird.
Yeah. So there's
I love their dynamic in this episode. It's great.
Yeah. I definitely want to see more, which I mean, I've seen the trailer or bits and pieces of the trailer. I try to stay away from like, the trailer for the next like episode or whatever. But I saw like images that we're gonna get a little bit more of her backstory. But basically their whole ordeal is they have to work together to get off this blasted moon. And you kind of learn a little bit more about her. You learn that her name is actually Sylvie. She has chosen, or at least at this point, it seems that she has chosen the moniker Sylvie. We also learned that from her that the agents of the TVA are actually, in fact, variants themselves. and she makes a lot of comments about the TVA and calling them what was it? She called them fascists.
Yes.
So it leads me to believe that. So last week we spoke about the theory that there may be the sacred timeline, and then all these other parallel timelines that exist running in tandem. And my theory was that she actually exists from one of those others that was running parallel as well. And the TVA tried to just completely eradicate that entire timeline.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm starting to think that theory is more like.
Yeah, like a lot of the stuff that she talks about, like her disdain for the TVA and everything, it feels like that is becoming more and more true.
Yeah, and I feel like we'll learn more about that in tomorrow's episode. Like, episode 4 is going to give us that, like, big background moment where we're like, okay, we're on their side, not the TVA side.
Yeah. And you can, they do, ever since, like, after phase 2, Marvel has done a really good job of creating a reason to like the antagonist or end up flipping the antagonist. So I think we're going to see a method to the madness in a sense. So we're moving on from that. They realize they have to catch a train to the Ark. This is this giant shuttle off of the moon. So they have to get on there. And this is probably one of my favorite bits of the entire episode. Mainly, so we get like this nice little exchange between Sylvie and Loki. And we learn that canonically, both of them are bisexual. Very much like in the comics, Loki was also bisexual. But, you know, it's always been like alluded to in cases like this, but they finally just outright. And it wasn't like in your face. It wasn't necessarily in your face, but it's like in normal conversation. Oh, okay, yeah.
It was like it was like a definitive answer finally.
Yeah.
Like they danced around it for a long time, and in this conversation, it was just like, yeah, and sometimes men, kind of deal.
Yep. Which was great, especially since it is Pride Month. So perfect time.
Good on Disney for finally hopping on board.
Yeah, right. And then, so they're obviously tired after all this. Sylvie goes ahead and she takes a nap, only to wake up and find Loki just partying it up. He's drinking. He's singing in Asgardian. It's amazing.
I'm Sylvie in this scenario, and Xander is Loki. I would be the one taking a nap, but I would wake up and Xander would be drunk. Jagger, you missed the party. We're having drinks. Tell Dad joke.
When she sings, come home. When she sings, come home.
Exactly. That's exactly how this dynamic goes.
Yep.
And I'm just sitting there like, bro, I'm napping.
I mean, if you look at any of the other past episodes, I mean, I've been making it a point to have you facepalm at some point in the episode.
It happens every time, at least once.
It hasn't happened yet, and I think I might.
No, it hasn't.
I might slip up. I might. I have nothing has come up yet. We'll see. But I love the little part where she's like freaking out because like one of the passengers had seen him like being all rowdy and wasn't having it, so he runs off and goes to tattletale on Loki. He's just trying to have fun, man. But my favorite part of this was like he's like trying to show her this cheese or whatever, and he's like, it pairs very well with the figgy port. Who has the figgy port? He's like, you can't. I'm like,
can't find what he wants.
This is like 110% me in this scenario.
Yeah, it is.
And then
goes really well with this other drink that I had like 5 minutes ago. I don't know where that drink is. Does anybody know where that drink is? I need it. No.
And then he puts the cheese down, and then it like falls down, and then he just like looks at it and he's like, "No, it's a shame to let that go to waste." Like I honestly thought that he was about to reach down and just try and salvage what he could.
Yeah, I thought he was too. I would have. Shit.
Yeah, same. So after all that, the angry boomer comes back, and he comes back with he comes back with security
The
guards.
boomer.
Yes, the boomer. He comes back with the security guards, and they ask for the ticket. He doesn't have a ticket. He doesn't have a ticket. So obviously a fight ensues, and he is thrown off the train. When he's thrown off the train, Sylvie realizes he has the temp pad that can get them off this moon. Oh, by the way, we completely fucking missed it. The temp pad ran out of juice. That's why they have to find the arc to get off this moon.
Yeah, the arc is supposed to have the components they need to charge the temp pad up.
Yep.
So they can leave.
Yep. So obviously she's like, crap, I can't leave him because he's my only way out of here. So she jumps after him, only to find out that the temp pad kind of took a tumble with him and got smushed.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like this is a Loki misdirect.
Okay.
I feel like he is trying to learn all he can about Sylvie, or he knows more about Sylvie than he's leading on. And the broken temp pad was actually just an illusion that he cast.
That could be it.
So that he can learn more, because I mean, he does. If he didn't do that, he'd have never learned that everybody at the TVA were variants.
True.
Because it was after this moment that he learns. He also learned a little bit more about Sylvie in the coming moments. And I think with them being stranded together, he's gonna learn more about what she wants and learn more about the TVA, because he wants to control the TVA. Is his ultimate goal. So I'm thinking that this whole temp pad deal is just a ploy so he can learn more about her.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because he's not that much of an idiot that he would just forget that it was under him. He would have easily salvaged himself to be able to not break the temp pad, their only way off this apocalyptic planet.
Yeah, that doesn't add up. I didn't even think about that. You can visually see the wheels turning in my. I needed to create like a pop up for my stream deck to where it's just like visible thinking.
Just gears turning on the side of your head.
Or like the math equations flying by. Oh my god. Yeah, no, I didn't even think about that. But so they carry on, and they realize they gotta catch up to the Ark some way. So they just go it afoot. They go it on foot, and they finally get to the area where the Ark is, and this is an awesome scene. It's Well, I would say that there are some moments where they could sneak a transition in, but it's made to look like one continuous shot this entire time as they are rushing to the Ark. And there's a moment here that I've actually seen a theory going around where a lot of people are thinking that he snuck one of the time stones from their like tray of infinity stones. Because there's a part in this scene where the building is about to fall down on them, and he just stops it, and then it just goes back to where it was. An ability that I was not aware that Loki had. That doesn't seem like an ability that Loki would have.
Yeah, I mean, either that or they've just been severely nerfing Loki this entire time.
That could very well be it, but I think more likely because most of his abilities, other than the generic magic blast, have mainly just been illusions. That's kind of his thing. So I would say that was actually the use of a time stone.
Could be.
Even though they hid the whole, like, usually there's like a green aura, which, I mean, even then would still like chalk it up to, oh, it's just Loki's magic because it's green.
Yeah, his magic is green. He easily could have done that.
So I think that's a viable theory. I have my reservations on it, but it does seem like a viable theory, which could potentially be their way out.
Yeah, could be.
So we'll see about that. But they finally reach the Ark, and what happens, Jagger?
it go arc go boom.
Arc go boom. A huge chunk of Lamentis right across the top of the arc, rendering it completely useless. And in seeing that happen, Sylvie literally, no words, turns around, walks away. She's just fed up with this.
Yep.
She's like, fuck this.
She's like, I'm done. I'm out. It's legitimately my facepalm moments every week.
Yep.
In that moment, that's me.
Yep. Wow.
Turn around.
Even more so. We definitely are Sylvie and Loki.
Yes. I just need long, beautiful blonde hair.
Well, no, just at the end of your neck. She's got that like shortcut.
Yeah. I mean that too. I'm getting there. I got like the mohawk a little bit. The ends are blonde. I don't know.
So that's where it leaves off. It kind of just leaves off with them stranded.
Us right there.
Yeah. Like it was funny too, because like just as it was building up and stuff like that, we were like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That's their only way out.
So far, Marvel's TV shows on Disney Plus have been like the masters of edging.
Yeah. For
They
sure.
kind of just build us up, and they're just like, wait till next week. Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Oh my god. See, that's what the best part of it is that as a society, we've already grown accustomed to Netflix like giving us the whole season all at once. And everyone's so used to that, they forgot about the days of like waiting next week for the next episode and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
and
like,
now we have like
else is like freaking the fuck out.
Well, now we have like the best of both at that point. It's like we have the streaming to where we can watch it anywhere, anytime, but we still have to wait weekly for these episodes. We just don't have to be in front of the TV at 8 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central.
Yeah.
In order to watch it.
Yeah. But what you do have to be in front of your computer or your phone or potentially your TV at 9 p.m. every Tuesday. Comic Relief.
Shameless plug on our own show.
Yeah, I had to.
That's the moment. That's
the facepalm? Is that the facepalm moment?
Yeah, I didn't physically facepalm because my arms hurt, but you know, my head is hung and I have sighed. I'm mentally there.
A mental facepalm from Jagger.
The streak continues.
Yes, there we go. So overall thoughts on the episode. What was your, like, in comparison to the other two that we've seen? So as a whole, like, how do you feel about this episode? Because I've heard a lot of divisive comments about this.
So I like, as a whole, I like the episode. It's really fun. I personally still enjoy episode 2 more.
Okay. I
feel like 2 had a nice, well-rounded kind of like build up and let down. This one felt like here's part 1, wait for part 2 kind of deal, which I dislike.
Okay.
But I do really love the dynamic between Sylvie and Loki. So I mean, like, while 2 still may be my favorite, it's only my favorite by like 1 point. So if we're going off a scale of 10, like say episode 2 is a 9, episode 3 is an 8, and then episode 1 is like a 7.
Okay. That's
so
fair.
It's like,
that's fair.
Like it's still really, 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 really good. It's just I like 2 better personally because of the way it was like. I'm looking at it as like a filmography standpoint because I have to look at it as a fan and as like a film critic as well.
Right.
So overall, in those 2 mindsets, episode 2 is better for me.
Okay. I would venture to say that I'm that guy where each episode just keeps getting better for me, but I'm more so just looking at it as a fan.
Yeah.
Because it's just continuing the story. I want to know more of the story, and the more I know about the whole story, the more excited I get about it. So, I can see your point of view with that. But what I don't get, and I don't know if you've seen this, but there have actually been people out there that were saying like episode 3 was a trash fire almost. Like they feel that strongly about it, to where they're just like, this was a terrible episode. Like what? Look, I don't even understand their mindset behind this.
So I can see it because so you know my explanation for how I rated it, where it's like I'm looking at it as a fan and as a film critic. They took out the fan aspect of it. They literally just watched it as a critic, in the mindset that they were gonna pick it apart no matter what, whether it was fun or not.
Okay.
Like there are those people who legitimately sit there and write reviews on Rotten Tomatoes for every film, whether it's good or bad, just for the sake of critiquing something.
Oh, okay. So like every single person that I hate.
Yeah, exactly. The antithesis of this show, like, we want to present stuff that we like because it's good or objectively good.
They're the reverse us. They're the darkest timeline us.
They're the darkest timeline.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because we want to bring positivity and talk about the things that we like and stuff like that. We don't want to, with the exception of Jupiter's Legacy, but.
Oh man, I almost forgotten that existed. I was so close.
We're almost there.
It was almost in the same box as Iron Fist, and you just.
And I brought both of them up today.
How could you? I thought you were my friend.
It's like I went over there and just like slapped you across the face, and as soon as you're about to reel back in, I just went in for the backhand.
Yep. I was like finally recovering. I was like, it's like I was walking out of the rehab facility, like, I'm finally over Jupiter's Legacy. And then out runs Xander, Jupiter's Legacy! And then I just start screaming and run back inside.
They came out the island with their fucking costumes. Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
I can't.
Oh, God. Oh, let's just all like breathe the sigh of relief that knowing that it was canceled.
Yeah.
Before it could get any worse.
Yeah. Jesus. You want to talk about a dumpster fire? Pat one. But in general, I'm excited for episode 4 because I know episode 4 is gonna crack things wide open. Because we only have 3 episodes left, so.
Yeah, and then going back on what we said during Nerd News, Tom Hiddleston did mention that in episodes 4 and 5, it starts to expand into new territory. And then after that, the whole series kind of takes off in a direction that he didn't see coming. So yeah.
I'm thinking. Yeah. I'm thinking it's this new territory that they're gonna go in is gonna be the multiverse theory.
Okay.
Because they haven't explored that yet. It's been mentioned, but it's undiscovered territory for them. Marvel hasn't gone into the multiverse theory yet. So I think they're gonna take it and they're gonna spin it in a way that nobody thought of, or we may have thought of, because we spat I don't know how many different theories about how they're gonna do the multiverse in our preview episode.
Yep.
So who knows?
I'm thinking he might actually come face to face with the Timekeepers, but where they're at is on this like plane of existence that exists outside of literally everything else, and they can actually have like a bird's eye view of the multiverse.
I mean, that would make sense. I don't know.
Just imagine that, and like Loki is just taken aback, like he's just like in shock because he can actually see all these different universes playing out in real time.
Yeah, imagine they do that and they start showing clips from like other Marvel films that weren't Marvel Studios. And
then Loki gets slapped right across the face by me, and then haha, Marvel's What If starting now.
Oh no.
Oh man, imagine that. It just shuts down right there. We don't get any explanation. You just see Loki popping up above the multiverse, seeing everything, and then Ast comes up and just like backhands him. He passes out, and then he looks over, and then it switches to the Watcher.
I mean, they could be very well doing that, but I mean, I don't know how they're gonna connect the What If series to everything else. If they're gonna even connect
they don't have to. They don't technically. It is already connected because the sacred timeline's bombed. All right, everything's changed.
Yeah.
I have 2 left feet. You have black hair.
I'm kind of into that.
It's getting weird. It's getting
Spicy.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see, though. I mean,
you have one nipple.
Oh God! don't say those things. It might upset my wife.
Also, by the way, Husky says he's gonna buy us Jupiter's Legacy on Blu-ray.
Husky, I know where you live. I will come to your house and I will shove it so far up your ass. You will be the Blu-ray player.
Oh my God. High definition, my ass.
Lord.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically episode 3. There wasn't like too much to really dig into.
No, there weren't a lot of Easter eggs.
Yeah, other than the fact that, you know, like, all right, let's get cracking, and like what was, you know, revealed to us is pretty substantial. I will say, but it plays out pretty, you know, pretty normally for another episode. So I think tomorrow when episode 4 comes out, we're gonna get a lot more based on what Tom Hiddleston said, and
for sure,
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt and not pulling a fucking Paul Bettany.
I hope he doesn't. I have more respect for Tom Hiddleston. I think he'll. I think he's actually like being serious.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll see some big shit tomorrow.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. But Husky says Fall Stone comes to visit me. So now that he says that, we are definitely coming to visit now. But yeah, so that is episode 16 of Comic Relief. Thank you for joining us today, guys, and tune in next week for more news and our continued coverage of Loki. And then the following week, we got Black Widow. Black Widow's coming up just around the corner.
Next Friday is when Black Widow comes out, and we both agreed that we're going to go see it on opening weekend so that we can cover it. On that Tuesday night.
Well, actually, it all depends on Jackie, because Jackie may still be recovering. Anyone here? My wife is going into surgery tomorrow. She's getting some surgery to fix some back issues. So hopefully that goes smoothly. But yeah, worst case scenario, you know what? I'll just be like, listen, we're gonna go ahead and get it on Premier Access. You sit back and relax. I'll make you dinner. But yeah, we also got another episode of Cursed Tapes, right?
Yep, Thursday night at 8 p.m. right here on the Box Network. I will be joined by Big Husky, who you see in chat. We're going to be talking about horror comedies.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one.
Please tell me he's not bringing up Velocipaster.
He's not. He said the one he really wanted to talk about was Happy Death Day.
Okay. I swear to God, if I tune into that and I see him mention Velocipaster.
No, I know the ones that I'm mainly going to be talking about are Tucker and Dale versus Evil, Cabin in the Woods,
that was a good
Scary
one.
Movie, and The Babysitter.
Okay. Cool.
Those are like the main ones I want to talk about because it's like different eras of horror comedy and how it changed over the years.
Husky says Velocipaster is gospel, not horror comedy. Oh man. All right. So yeah. So
he's gonna mention it now.
We got Cursed Tapes this Thursday. We got another episode of Comic Relief next week, as well as on Wednesday, I believe, is the first episode of Otaku's Anonymous, the anime show.
Premiere day.
Another premiere. Yeah. And then trickling down, we got Monday the 12th. I need to lock down a couple of these guests, but I plan on doing another episode of jam sessions over on my Twitch channel, and then we have the Black Widow episode on the 13th. So we got a lot coming up. We got a big schedule coming up. Yeah. So please stay tuned for that, guys. And if there are any topics that you'd like to see us cover on this channel, on that channel, on the other channel, please leave a suggestion in the comments down below. And if you enjoy what we're doing here and you want to help support, please like, share, and subscribe anywhere. Preferably subscribe here because it's free. You don't really have to do much of anything. and then like it. That's also free. You just have to move the mouse over the little thingy thing, the thumbs up, not the thumbs down, the thumbs up. Click that thing, and then share it. Just click the link and share it to your Reddit, to your Facebook, to your Twitter, to your Instagram. You can't do it on Instagram. Why did I say that? Share it to your Pornhub stream. No, don't do that.
Whoa.
Oh my god. Anyway, so
Whoa.
both Jagger and I also stream on Twitch, so be sure to follow us there. Our links will be in the description down below. Jagger, typically he'll do a pre-game show right before comic relief, and normally what I would do, which what I'm going to be doing tonight because there's a new update on Apex. I'm going to be doing the comic relief post show over on my Twitch channel as well. So, with that being said, I hope you all have a great night and stay nerdy, my friends. Bye-bye.
Bye.